for the simple versus elaborate, we are going to look at each one individually, and then we are going to do a side-by-side comparison of the both of them. I think that the simple, it helps with just doing basic lines and keeping your flowers very simple. To make it more elaborate, you can add some line work, use black color to emphasize some of your things, use a circle or different shapes to emphasize your words. That can really elevate and make a more elaborate design. You can also use more flowers, but I think the biggest thing that I used when I was trying to make a more elaborate design is I used a lot of different colors, and I kept with the same kind of theme. I used only blues and purples, but I used a variety of blues and purples. And I think that if I would have used a white acrylic pen and outlined little parts of it with black, I think that would elevate it even more. So, I mean, it's little small details like that that can help elevate a design. With the simple design, it only took me about 20 minutes to sketch it all out, and the most time consuming thing with that one was gluing down the sticky notes and making sure they stayed. The other design where I was drawing more flowers, coloring them in, that took me maybe about 45 minutes to an hour. It didn't actually take that much longer because I focused on just adding more flowers and just coloring, and it was kind of therapeutic to color. So when you look at the cover pages, the biggest difference is that I used a circle to emphasize the month and the year, and then I just added a lot more flowers with color around the edging. And with the simple one, I just used lined art, and I think that that really changes the way that they look compared side by side. And that is a huge difference. And when you look at the monthly calendar, I just used boxes in the simple design to mark out each day, and then I did a full out calendar on the more elaborate design with flowers all along the bottom, adding flowers for details with colors, and then did the goals on its next to the monthly calendar instead of on its own. But I think that it kind of, the colors really helped a lot. With the projects page, it kind of, I think, depends. Projects page, you can't really add too much detail to it because you need the space to write out your projects, but you can still add more flowers to it to make it more detailed. You can also add more details to just one flower that you have, and that could elevate it as well and make it more elaborate just by adding more details to your flower. The mood tracker was a little hard. They're kind of similar. They both have flowers that you fill in, but the mood tracker for the elaborate design, that was based off one I found on Pinterest, and I really liked the way that it looked. And it's just coloring in each flower, and I would stick with my purples and blues. And I think that by doing a mood tracker based off your theme, it really helps you be connected to that and try and fill it in. The difference between the simple and the elaborate was I actually added a quote page onto the elaborate one, and that's one way that you can elevate your monthly spread, is by just adding a quote page along with maybe just a floral page or just some kind of design on one page, and that can help change the way your bullet journal looks. You can have fun just looking back at it and flipping through it, and it can add more detail. And that's one thing I really like about the florals, is that just adding colors changes the way your bullet journal looks, and it makes it pop. And then with the overall, I think the main things I used were markers and my pen, and that's it. And that's all you really need. And it just depends. Sometimes you can mix and match too. You can use simple design flowers, but add more of them, and that can elevate it. And then with the weekly spread, I did a Alistair type on the simple one, and then I did boxes for the more elaborate one. It just depends on what you're feeling for that month. I hope this kind of gave you some ideas, and it shows you what you can do when you're doing a journal. See you in the next video. Bye, Muppy.